You guys have a phone, right? And no TikTok? Then well, I bet you play it a lot and follows a lot of trends on it. But what happened when you missed that trend? Well, I'm going to assume that you'll start to feel like you lived under a rock once you play with your friends. Am I right? And you will try your best to fit in your friends group by following the trends that you don't even know of. And then, boom, another trend, and another one, and another one, and you keep on trying so hard to fit into society by following those trends until you forgot who you truly are. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Satya and I'm from Senior High School 3 in Sukabumi City. Today, I'm going to share with you guys my point of view concerning about why individualism is not a threat to Indonesian multiculturalism in the modern age. So, before we start, what is individualism? Individualism is a self-principle on being independent and self-reliant. This means that individualist doesn't rely on people or certain groups in order to live their life. And there is a thing called collectivism. It is basically the opposite of individualism. Collectivism is a principle on prioritizing a group needs compared to individual needs. The major advantages of individualism compared to collectivism is that they are independent, focusing on being themselves and their achievement, and they are not trying so hard to fit in the society and in the trends. Like we all know, digitalization is the main tagline of modernization. This vast advancing digitalization creates a thing called internet, where people express their feelings and thoughts to. Just like the apps we all know, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and maybe Twitter, etc. It creates trends where mostly the viewers are youth who is trying to find their true selves, so they tend to try to fit in the society by following those trends. Unrecognizedly, this makes those youth having an identity crisis, and it surely can impact on the multiculturalism of Indonesia because these youth are fed up negatively with Western culture. They tend to change their mindset and behavior accordingly to what is in the trend without even filtering it because all they care about is that they are up to date. Unlike individualistic people who have a really strong self-foundation in themselves, they are most likely are not going to get affected by those trends. Ladies and gentlemen, you might think that, oh, individualistic people are selfish. They only think about themselves. Well, I'm gladly to be here to change your thoughts about that stigma. Selfishness is not individualism. Selfish people only think about their own satisfactions and needs, while individualistic people are not. They just have a different perspective about people's freedom and liberty. Let me illustrate for you. A selfish person would say, I'll do what I want. While an individualistic person would say, do what you want, as long as it doesn't harm others. They are just seen badly from society as someone who only thinks about themselves when the truth is nothing like that. Individualist focuses on their achievement and competitive mindset. Oh, and fun fact, individualists tend to have a more successful life compared to collectivists. Quoted from Business Insider. Apparently, millionaires have an individualistic senses ever since they are a kid. They trust their instincts even though people has doubts on them. Well, let's take an example. Steve Jobs. He was very determined on his dreams. He has been doubted by many people when the first iPhone generation appears. But he doesn't find a reason to give a single damn about what people say and keep on focusing on his goal until he succeeded to become a multi-millionaire. While on the other hand, according to simplypsychology.org, countries with lower levels of wealth tend to be more collectivistic. Collectivists could deal a lot more damage to our nation compared to individualists because they tend to get affected by what people say about their dreams and doesn't have a competitive mindset unlike individualistic people in the modern world. This type of behavior also applies in the multiculturalism of Indonesia. Collectivists doesn't have a strong self-resilience on receiving globalization. They tend to follow what their fellow collectivists do without even knowing whether it is beneficial for them to practice or could risk their well-being in life. Just like the SCBD trend, people follow the influencer on the internet by dressing up inappropriately, smoking, drinking, cussing, and even some children drop out of their school to become a famous influencer. They're just a kid. They need education. Ladies and gentlemen, what seems to be the threat of our country's multiculturalism are unfiltered modernization, stupidity, selfishness, and ignorance. These things are ruthlessly damaging our nation without us even noticing it. Well, have you noticed how the young generations are slowly forgetting about their national culture? Or have you noticed how the young generations see people who talk in their local languages and considered weird? This is out of control. How could you think that individualistic people are a threat to our country's multiculturalism? Ladies and gentlemen, please change your mindset about individualistic people because truly they are not the bad guy here. In fact, they are one of our support system on achieving a developed country and the key to reach the goal of a preserved Indonesian multiculturalism in this modern age. Ladies and gentlemen, that is all I can give for you today. Thank you for your attention. Have a great day.